No! This is none of your business! Hello, we're Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile, and today we're reviewing The Conjuring Last Rites.
After 9 movies, I can't believe it's finally over.
Tell that to Friday the 13th, the final chapter, or Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
After 12 years, 4 films, 5 spin-offs, and more possessed junk than a haunted yard sale, The Conjuring Last Rites arrives as the supposed final chapter of the Ed and Lorraine Warren saga. James Wan may have created the blueprint, but the final entry is directed by Michael Chaves, who has directed the last couple of sequels. Last Rites promises to send the demon-hunting couple out on a high note.
The only thing high in the theater was me.
So, the big question is, does the film stick the landing? Or are the Warrens gonna have to investigate the death of this franchise? In 1964, a young Ed and Lorraine Warren are poking around an antique shop when Lorraine touches an old spooky mirror, and surprise, it's haunted and cracks.
Uh-oh, that's 7 years of bad luck.
Meanwhile, the shop owner is like, "You break it, you buy it."
To avoid the bill, Lorraine collapses, has a vision of some mysterious entity, and her unborn child.
Gender reveal parties were always over the top.
Panicking, Ed drives her to the hospital because she's gone into labor about a month early.
Hold it in, Lorraine. The demon can wait until visiting hours.
Hospitals in horror movies are always empty and darkly lit, but the movie goes one step further because a storm knocks the power out. I guess hospitals didn't have backup generators in the 60s. So now the doctor and nurses are delivering her baby with flashlights like they're telling a ghost story around a campfire. Push, push. Also, we don't take your insurance.
The scariest part was the hospital bill.
However, Lorraine gives birth to their daughter Judy. Stillborn at first, but then their miracle baby starts crying.
Judy entered this franchise already fighting for her life.
Fast forward 22 years, and we meet the Smurl Family, who live in a fixer-upper in Pennsylvania. By fixer-upper, we mean it comes with 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a ghost infestation in the basement.
At least the family in Poltergeist had a pool.
Jack and Janet Smurl live with their daughters and Jack's parents, who probably didn't think they need to wear Depends so soon into retirement. For Heather's confirmation, Grandpa gifts her a giant cracked mirror. Congratulations, sweetheart! I thought your bedroom wall needed a portal to hell!
I'm glad our grandparents just give us a card and some money.
Soon after, the ceiling light above the table nearly crushes them at dinner.
Mirror 1, Smurls 0.
Pretty soon, the family starts experiencing every tired paranormal trope in the book. They hear voices, smell bad odors, are plagued by jump scares, and see creepy reflections in the mirror.
They should have taken some notes from Oculus.
Naturally, the girls toss the mirror in the garbage, but it retaliates by filling Dawn's stomach with glass, and she vomits blood.
I thought she was auditioning for Evil Dead, the musical.
That night, the dad wakes up and is levitating above the bed. Even worse, the demon picks up and throws the family dog.
That's not how you play catch with a dog.
Out of options, the family goes to the media looking for help. They even appear on Larry King.
If you can't beat the demon, at least get a book deal.
True, they did write a book with the Warrens, and there was a 1991 made-for-TV movie also called The Haunted. Anyway, to nobody's surprise, the cursed mirror returns like a reflective boomerang. Meanwhile, back at Warren HQ, Judy Warren gets engaged to Tony Spera, a former cop.
This love story could use another love story.
Sweet, right? Wrong! Judy's psychic powers are growing stronger, and her visions are less about her wedding and more about Annabelle the doll fan service. Annabelle has nothing to do with this case, but she is under contract to appear in every Conjuring movie.
Who the hell is your agent?
Father Gordon tries to step in and help the Smurls, but the demon kills him. In real life, multiple priests stayed at the house and experienced... what's the word I'm looking for? Nothing! At his funeral, Judy psychically sees where it happened. Or could have read a paper and immediately runs off by herself to Pennsylvania to help the Smurl family.
Sometimes the psychic baby bird has to leave the Haunted Artifact Museum nest.
Ed, Lorraine, and Tony chase after her, leading them straight to the Smurl house, who are glad to see them. However, the Warrens have been retired for years due to Ed's bad heart. No thanks, Smurf family. Just here for my daughter and gotta go.
Maybe they should have called the Ghostbusters.
Yada yada yada, the Warrens end up helping the Smurl family. And the mirror that was the subject of their first case is the subject of their last case.
To be determined by the box office.
In real life, the Smurls were haunted for 15 years, and the mirror was a part of an unrelated case. With it being their last case and the last movie, it is kinda lame that their final foe is a mirror.
Sometimes, to clean a mirror, you need more than Windex. You need an exorcism.
Lorraine discovers the mirror is tied to murders involving an axe murderer, girl, and an old hag on the property, but it feels convoluted and goes nowhere. The movie actually doesn't seem to really care about the haunted house that much. This movie is more about the Warrens, especially the young Judy and her fiancé, Tony.
Look out, Tony! Judy had a vision of you not taking out the trash.
It's funny because one of the Smurl family members came out and said Judy and Tony were never at their house. The writers interviewed the family for hours and hardly used anything from their stories.
I'm starting to think these movies are made up.
In the final eye-rolling scene, Judy marries Tony, and Ed walks her down the aisle while cameos from past cases show up. It's the friends they've made along the way. Even producer James Wan is sitting in the church. What is this? The Conjuring Endgame?
It was silly that Annabelle the doll was the flower girl.
The wedding officiant was the painting of Valak.
It felt like the ending of The Wizard of Oz. You were there. And you were there. And you were there writing the checks. Maybe it's because in between producing these Conjuring films, James Wan directed a Fast and the Furious film.
He learned that nothing is stronger than family.
Ed and Lorraine Warren share one final dance, reminiscing that their love and faith carried them through decades of evil.
You know what? My marriage to your father lasted 1 year, thanks to spite and vodka.
If surviving cursed dolls, haunted houses, and puke-inducing demons doesn't test a marriage, I guess nothing will. Just so you guys know, I've had a chest cold for like 2 weeks. Can I please get a like? With a budget of $55 million, The Conjuring: Last Rites has already made $194 million, breaking the box office record for biggest horror movie opening set by It.
I'm pissed we couldn't buy the Annabelle popcorn bucket. I guess I'll have to make my own.
The guy who took the real doll on tour did die mysteriously.
In Hollywood, money talks. So, is this the final curtain call for the Warrens? Will there be another spin-off? Will the sequels focus on Judy and Tony? Let's start with the positives. Once again, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga prove they are the glue holding this franchise together. Their chemistry is effortless, and they continue to take two controversial real-life figures,
Hack frauds,
and transform them into the beating heart of the series. You believe in their love, their faith, and their willingness to battle the demons of hell together.
It was all in the wedding vows.
The acting overall is solid, but the standout scene has nothing to do with the paranormal. Instead, it's Tony nervously asking the Warrens for their blessing to marry Judy. It's a surprisingly tender human moment that fleshes out Tony's character and provides some genuine warmth. The problem, in a horror movie, a proposal shouldn't be the highlight.
This was Meet the Parents with crucifixes.
Now, for the negatives, and there are plenty. The film is set in 1986, but you'd hardly know it. Aside from one throwaway joke about the Ghostbusters, the movie is visually and tonally still stuck in the 70s. No neon, no cultural flavor, not even a hint of the excess that made the 80s the 80s. I didn't see one decent perm.
Where's the cocaine? Did the demon snort it off the mirror?
The cursed mirror at the center of the haunting is also not scary. Mirrors are a staple of horror, but the climax was basically the Warrens pushing a mirror down the hallway. You can go back to hell! Or on the wall in the dining room.
All the tension of watching your parents rearrange the furniture.
Then there's the CGI. We're shown a laughable 15-foot tall CGI Annabelle monster, and a smiling hag that looks like a reject from a troll movie. The digital effects kill the atmosphere and undermines the based on a true story vibe these films are supposed to carry.
Maybe the phantom odors were dog farts.
The Smurl Family don't get much screen time. Previous entries, like The Conjuring 1 and 2, gave us families to care about, but here, the focus is almost entirely on Judy and Tony. While the Warrens should be central, sidelining the victims of the haunting lowers the stakes. If this is supposed to be the Warrens' last case, the threat needed to feel bigger.
The Smurl Family are background extras in their own haunting.
To make matters worse, the demon's motives are unclear. Why does it want Judy? Why is the mirror cursed in the first place? Previous entries emphasized the importance of knowing a demon's name to cast it out, but here we are left with a vague antique with no backstory.
The mirror spent all that time showing others who they are. It never had time to reflect and know who it was.
Finally, the pacing is messy. The film starts strong, but spends too long meandering before the Warrens finally arrive at the Smurl house. Then, the climax rushes past in a blur, offering little resolution beyond pray really hard at the mirror until it breaks. It's not the grand finale this franchise deserved.
More like last rites of my attention span.
So, would I recommend The Conjuring Last Rites? It's not an outright disaster. It has strong performances and a few heartfelt moments. But it's a mediocre, underwhelming send-off for one of horror's most popular franchises. Michael Chaves doesn't bring anything exciting to the table, and I wonder how much stronger this finale could have been had James Wan returned to direct and finish what he started. Sadly, the Warrens go out, not with a bang, but with a faint creak in a floorboard. In the comments, let us know what you thought of The Conjuring Last Rites. We've been Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for liking and subscribing.
Join our Patreon, hit the bell, and now watch another damn video.